render aid immediately upon shooting the individual. At one point, we believed we had an officer that was shot, but he was not. He was transported to shock trauma, and he was been released and is down talking to detectives. We're in contact with the Attorney General's office and have activated our public release of critical incident recordings. On scene officers located a handgun with an extended magazine. We have not confirmed yet that the individual did fire shots. We know he pointed the weapon, but we can't really tell yet from the body-worn camera whether shots were fired. We have not confirmed the identity. However, preliminary information is that he's an adult male. Our Special Investigation Response Team is investigating the incident alongside our Attorney General's office. This is a very active, ongoing investigation. And at this time, I'll turn it over to Mayor Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner. While we are very early in this investigation, we know that incidents like this really pull the heart out of the community. I want to thank our officers for their quick action to render aid to both the suspect and their fellow officer. We will be standing up a neighborhood stabilization as a part of our protocol here in this neighborhood to support this neighborhood as they go through this traumatic event that has hurt their neighborhood and people that live in a neighborhood and an individual that lost his life. I want to again thank our officers for what they do and what they did today, making sure to render aid. We know that this again points at a bigger and broader issue about the flow of guns into our city and how we cannot have individuals just walking around with these weapons that can lead to incidents like today that is very unfortunate. Thank you.
Sorry, come back up. So guys, we're going to go ahead and get started with our question portion. We will do one question per outlet. We're going to start with Hugo at the banner, work our way to the Baltimore Sun, and come down this way. So Hugo, first question.
Yeah, do we know how many shots were fired in total?
No, just multiple.
More than a handful.
From what I saw, yes.
Baltimore Sun.
Why did officers stop the suspect?
The individual was standing and they believed him to be armed, and when they got out of their car to approach him, he took off running.
Going over to Alexa, or David.
That's
I'm sorry,
David
Collins.
back there.
What type of weapon was recovered, and is the person you believe who had it prohibited person?
We don't know that information yet. We just are trying to still identify him. The weapon was a handgun with an extended magazine.
Alexa.
Can you talk about the nature of the interaction with the individual who was shot and killed, why he was believed to be armed, what that interaction was like?
It's still part of the investigation, but officers had stopped to engage the individuals, and they had believed that he was armed. When they got out of the vehicle, this individual took off running, and they pursued him on the Wilkins Avenue where the fatal confrontation occurred.
That was why they got out, because they believed he was armed.
Yes.
Leah with AP.
Yeah, did they believe he was armed because of how he was acting, or because they were searching for him?
They saw something that made them believe that he was armed.
I don't know why initially they went up to him specifically.
They were patrolling this area. This is I don't want to say a high crime area, but we've had several shootings in this area, and they were doing proactive patrol, which our members are out doing every single day, addressing the individuals that are causing harm in our city. And this is another example of our officers doing a great job of apprehending an individual who was armed, who we don't know what he was up to with that weapon.
Were they undercover cops that were in the area?
They weren't undercover, but they were district action team officers. They were in their vests, their police vests, and identifiable. They warned the individual multiple times. They yelled to the individual multiple times to drop his weapon, drop his weapon. At one point, an officer got out of the car and attempted to tackle him, and he was able to get away from that officer, at which point he turned and pointed the weapon at the officers.
Can you describe the injuries to the officer? You said he was treated release. Can you describe his
Yeah, originally he had some blood on his pants, and we had thought he had been hit, but he was not. It was probably just from the fall.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Gentlemen.
Okay. Hey guys, I'll be staying around for you follow questions.
Take care, sir.